of rape survivors in court. The decision follows an outcry over how the defense lawyer Peter Dauberman questioned Cheryl Zondi, one of the several alleged victims of the Nigerian pastor Timothy Omotoso. Dauberman has since the start of a cross-examination been accused of discrediting Zondi's evidence and also asking her insensitive questions. We now speak to the Commission for Gender Equality. We are now joined by the Commission's Chairperson, Lulama. Nare, good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for coming through.
Good afternoon. Thank you for inviting us.
Thank you so much indeed. Now, the Commission has actually issued a statement saying that they're looking into approaching the General Counsel of the Bar. What exactly will you be complaining about here?
We have already written to them, and what we are raising with them is the secondary victimization that is actually not allowed to be exercised inside our courts, whether it's a judge court or it's a magistrate's court. But what we have been observing right through as we monitor the courts, we have seen that in different courts and in different magistrates' courts, we find that there is an unequal treatment of rape survivors.
In some unequal treatment in what way, Sisula?
In some courts, there will be a judge that will be acting like the one that is positively acting in the PE, where the judge intervened so that to protect the victim. And then you find that in some courts, the defense lawyers can go on and ask a woman who is raped, were you a virgin before? And in this case, in the Omotoso case, the defense lawyer asked the centimeters of the penis. How do you know when you are attacked? How do you have time to measure a penis? That is secondary victimization.
Yeah, because that is what most people are saying on social media, that Zondi is actually subjected to another rape by the defense lawyer this time around.
And unfortunately, this is sitting right at the door of every woman in South Africa, that all of us, as we step out of our homes, this will be the first thing that happens to us. And that is that there is a high prevalence of rape in the country, and therefore we can't afford to keep quiet. We have actually complained to the Law Society, because this is an attorney. We have also written to the Chief Justice to actually look into this with the independent judiciary. And we're saying, as the Gender Commission, we actually applaud the Judge Mandela in PE for actually making sure that his space, because we are told that the judges, that square meter that they are sitting in, they are the only authority in that. There's no other judge that can actually tell that judge what to do. So we have written straight to them. But at the same time, what we want to applaud the judge for doing is to use his own influence, that as much as we know that we have to check the credibility of the witnesses, but this one has gone too far.
Because what some other people are also saying is that that is exactly what happens to witnesses when they are cross-examined. So some are saying it's nothing new. It's not just happening to Cheryl Zondi, but it is what witnesses are subjected to. So the defense lawyer is just merely doing his job.
We will see. We can't be passive about things that are not right. And we're taking a stand now in support of everything that we have done this year. One of the things that has to be addressed in this country is the whole protection of women against rapists or alleged rapists. The other issue that we're raising with the police is actually the priests who are inside the church, who were in court yesterday. They were busy confessing their sins, that they are murderers, they are drug dealers, they were drug dealers. We want the police to actually charge them. Because
which priests are those? In the same
priests
court?
In the same church. They were in the same church. They were witnesses defending the Omotoso's integrity, that he is a good man, he has actually changed their lives. And it was a Nigerian national who was wearing a jacket who actually spoke about his past. And we are saying to the police, take them to jail, because one of the things that is going to happen here, there are other younger victims that are going to come in next week, who are not going to be as strong as Zondi. They will be looking at the audience, and they will see these people, this orange woman, the wife of Omotoso, and the other congregants who are busy nailing them for taking their pastor to prison. And we want them to be protected. So we're calling for SABC to make sure that all the victims that are in the list are fully and adequately protected.
So do you think they were not protected sufficiently so in court? Because we've seen on numerous cases the judge had actually had to intervene and call them to order. And, you know, I remember yesterday she named a lady who was apparently wearing an orange jacket to say, you know, stop throwing remarks as the girl is talking. So is that not sufficient?
This is intimidation. It might not go on in other courts. That is why we need to stop it at this court and support the judge when he calls out all these intimidators. Because next week, we will see until December, younger and younger victims coming through, or more vulnerable victims coming through to the stand. And if they were to see these people doing this inside the courtroom, that will break them.
All right. So you say you have written to the General Counsel of the Bar, you have written to the Law Society of South Africa, you have written to the Chief Justice as well. Are you not worried that this may seem like you are sort of interfering with the independence of the judiciary?
Well, the independence of the judiciary, if the independence of the judiciary doesn't protect the victims of rape when they are speaking out, then it needs to be challenged. But at this moment, we're not influencing anything. We have not written to the judge. We have written about the conduct of the attorney, Dauberman. His conduct is that of secondary victimization.
Yeah, yeah. We've seen other rape cases, of course, going to courts, and one can actually ask, why specifically this one do you show so much interest? Is it because the case, everyone is talking about, it's trending on social media and so on?
That, and additionally, that if we can catch moments, then as women, as we are marching to the Gender Summit, if we don't catch the moments and bottle them and address them as they happen, because most of the time it's always, we are told that no, there's no evidence, why didn't you go to this court, why didn't you report this? It's happening now and we are addressing it now.
All right, Sis Lulama, we'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for coming through.